hours away from Inauguration Day, the latest on security control as the nation prepares for a historic moment.
We cannot have our caregivers working under the threat of lawsuits for a crisis they did not create.
Florida's chief financial officer and local health care leaders announcing plans to protect healthcare workers against lawsuits throughout the pandemic.
Live from the station that's in your corner, you're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
The Fort Myers City Council back to the drawing board tonight as they work to find a short-term fix for homelessness in the area. Thanks for joining us for Fox 4 News at 10. I'm Jane Monreal. Patrick Nolan is off tonight. Fox 4's Rochelle Aline was at tonight's council meeting and has a wrap-up of the discussion.
We need to get together and work toward a more permanent fix.
Permanent solutions to a complex problem. That's what was on the agenda Tuesday night at the Fort Myers City Council meeting.
I think a lot of times it's easy for us to judge why are they homeless before we decide whether or not we're going to help them.
New Councilwoman Darla Bonk raised the issue after hearing about it at several recent meetings.
It's a situation that's not going away, and we can't just pretend it doesn't exist.
A big question tonight was about short-term solutions and what can be done for the homeless right now.
I think that faith-based organizations in the county and city can do more than what we have been doing, but I think we also need to have some guidance from the city as to what those things are.
Installing portable showers is now being considered by the council, and it's an idea one man at Tuesday's meeting knows a thing or two about.
I lost everything and had to start all over.
The 2008 recession hit Drew Broderick hard and forced him to sleep in tents, trucks, and campers all over Southwest Florida, even while holding a job.
They think homeless people are like on drugs and alcoholics and that, but a lot of homeless people are just normal people like you and me, and I had a job the whole time.
In 2015, he created Showers for the Homeless, using his own truck and tools to provide showers to other homeless folks in the area. He says while affordable housing will be a major key to ending the problem here, something as basic as a shower is a great first start.
It helps people to be able to clean up and get a job because, you know, nobody's going to work with you or give you a job if you can't come to work presentable.
And tonight, Mayor Kevin Anderson also talked about a homelessness task force that he's putting together. He said the members would be announced next week, but he did confirm that Councilman Johnny Streets would be a part of that coalition. In Fort Myers, Rochelle Aline, Fox 4.
Thanks for that update, Rochelle. To see more of what the city's doing to help the homeless community, just head to fox4now.com. And another topic mentioned at the council meeting tonight is the Robert E. Lee bust. The pedestal where it used to sit in downtown Fort Myers will soon be removed. The council made the decision after it was brought to their attention that the bust was put back up temporarily over the weekend to celebrate Lee's birthday, which is today. The city council recently voted to remove the bust after years of protests and outrage. But because the city doesn't own it, the council decided that the best way to keep it from going back up would be to remove the pedestal. No word on what will happen to the bust once the pedestal's removed. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley now for a first look at your weather. Are we going to see that warm up soon, Derek?
Yeah, well, it looks like we saw a little bit of it this afternoon, Jane. It was a gorgeous day across the area after a chilly start with many locations this morning into the 40s and 50s. And it looks like we're going to be cool again here for tonight, but more nice weather expected here for your Wednesday afternoon. Here's a look at temperatures across our region right now. You can see that we're currently looking at readings into the 50s and 60s, currently 61 Page Field. Right now in the Cape, it's 62 degrees, 60 for Bonita Springs, as well as Golden Gate and Marco Island, as well as Naples, too. Forecast tomorrow morning, temperatures, clear skies, low 50s for most areas, and then a nice warm-up as we go throughout mid-morning, getting up to the mid-60s here by mid-morning, and then low to mid-70s here for tomorrow afternoon. So it looks like another stellar day on the way, and we're still expecting possibly some 80-degree temperatures. We'll let you know on the 7-day forecast when you could see those coming up.
No complaints all around. Thank you, Derek. Well, with one day to go before Inauguration Day, both President Trump and President-elect Joe Biden had reflections to share with the American public. Ray Bogan's in Washington and explains what each had to say to mark the moment.
Wednesday marks day one of what President-elect Joe Biden says will be a busy first 100 days in office. A night before his inauguration, Joe Biden paid tribute to the more than 400,000 Americans who have died from coronavirus.
It's hard sometimes to remember, but that's how we heal. It's important to do that as a nation.
The pandemic forced the inauguration to go mostly virtual, and the guest list is down from the typical 200,000 to about 1,000. Biden's top legislative priority is COVID relief, and during her confirmation hearing, Treasury Secretary nominee Janet Yellen urged Congress to pass another package.
Without further action, we risk a longer, more painful recession now.
The security in D.C. is like a fortress, with fencing, roadblocks, and 25,000 National Guard members. The FBI vetted every one and removed 12 from duty because of right-wing or extremist views.
The Secret Service, the FBI, and others are going to vet any individuals that are going to have close proximity or to have access to some of these sensitive locations around D.C.
In a farewell address released by the White House, President Trump says he's praying for the next administration's success, but also had this message.
The world respects us again. Please don't lose that respect.
Fox News has learned Vice President Pence is not going to President Trump's send-off at Joint Base Andrews. Instead, he plans to attend the inauguration. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
The COVID vaccine will be available at Publix in Lee and Charlotte counties by Thursday. Governor Ron DeSantis made the announcement today in Cape Coral. Governor DeSantis says he will continue to prioritize vaccinating seniors first and hopes to get vaccines to every senior in our state that wants one in the next 6 months. DeSantis also shared his thoughts about President-elect Joe Biden's COVID recovery plan. He says Florida does not need help from the federal government to distribute vaccines.
If you come in and you tell FEMA to create some type of camp, how long is that going to take? And then are you going to divert vaccine away from my efforts and the efforts here where we're doing 70, 80,000 people a day now going at a good clip? I don't think you want to do that. And so, and then the more bureaucracy that's involved in this, the worse it's going to be. Trust me.
Appointment scheduling opens up tomorrow at 6 a.m. You can head to publix.com/COVID vaccine. Lee County Department of Health announcing that they have about 5,800 vaccines available for this week. You can begin scheduling appointments tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. Take note of that number on your screen right now. It is a toll-free number, 866-200-3468. Keep that in mind because if you don't get a chance to speak with a live person, you're going to get an automated message that asks you for your name and your number. Be sure to leave that information so you can get a call back. DeSoto County will also be switching to appointment-only vaccinations. This will start tomorrow morning at 9. The number to make the appointments, again, is on your screen, 863-491-5335. There's also a website for you to schedule it. The link is also on your screen for you to write it down. You're going to have to download the COVID vaccine consent form from that website as well, then bring it with you to your appointment. If you need more information on vaccines or want to see the latest on coronavirus numbers in your specific area, just head to fox4now.com/coronavirus. Florida's chief financial officer joined Lee Health leadership today at Gulf Coast Medical Center. It's part of Jimmy Petronis' statewide tour to pursue liability protection against COVID-19 related lawsuits. Fox 4's Noelani Matthew explains those plans and who it aims to protect. Noelani?
The chief financial officer says his plans would help Florida recover during the pandemic. It would cut down on COVID-19 liability lawsuits to protect local businesses and healthcare. In Florida, they've seen more than 450 of those suits filed in the last year.
Suits will cause insurance rates to increase. That will open the floodgates of attorneys to go after small businesses, healthcare facilities, and long-term care centers.
Tuesday, Florida's CFO says he's pushing legislation for a COVID-19 liability shield, similar to those enacted in 21 other states. It aims to prevent sue and settle tactics related to COVID-19 while allowing legitimate cases to move forward. It would apply to small businesses and healthcare facilities.
And I feel it's critical that we protect them from unnecessary lawsuits. We should be celebrating our healthcare heroes. not suing them.
Lee Health says they haven't seen any lawsuits related to COVID, but they support the protection of their staff, especially during the early stages of the pandemic. CEO Dr. Larry Antonucci says in order to prove medical liability, patients only have to prove a deviation from a standard of care.
It was changing from day to day. So in order to be able to show that someone deviated from a standard of care, you have to have a standard. And there just hasn't been a standard for COVID.
Florida CFO plans to pursue liability protection in the next regular session. Reporting in Fort Myers, Noelani Matthews, Fox 4.
Thanks, Noelani. Due to the rise of coronavirus cases in schools, Glades County students will be switching to virtual learning. This goes into effect tomorrow and will last until February 1st. You can count on Fox 4 to update you when a meal distribution plan becomes available. A sad day in the Cape Coral community today as many people remember the life of Mayor Joe Coviello. Family and friends talk about his impact while finding ways to honor his name. And if you're looking for free meals in Southwest Florida, local organizations are holding distributions this week. We'll tell you where on WFTX. Derek.
And after a chilly start to the work week, we're finally starting to see a warm up here across our area, and 80-degree temperatures are a possibility. I'll have your latest 7-day forecast coming up.
A new Lee Tran station is now in the works after Lee County Commissioners approved several new projects today. This new station will go up on South Cleveland Avenue in Fort Myers. Commissioners say the project should take about 6 months to complete. A popular spot for outdoor activities is getting some new amenities. Commissioners also approved new trailhead facilities at John Yarbrough Linear Park. The park opened in 2005 and stretches for 4.8 miles between Colonial and 6 Mile Cypress Parkway along that 10-mile canal. County Commissioners also working to improve water quality with the Yellow Fever Creek project. This means excess flow from Gator Slough Canal will be diverted into a reservoir there. It will be treated before being released into Yellow Fever Creek. And a heads up for drivers using Burnt Store Road. You can expect lane closures tomorrow and Thursday. This will be north of Zemmel Road in Charlotte County from 7 a.m. until 4. So plan ahead and be sure to slow down in the work areas. St. Matthew's House is setting its sights now on Immokalee once again as it continues its mission to help feed Southwest Florida. More than 700 families picked up meals over the last 2 days. Organizers there are saying that they're seeing many faces on a recurring basis.
Right now, probably about 4 out of 10 individual families, households, participate twice a week in our distribution.
Tomorrow's food distribution is at Immokalee Friendship House from 10:30 a.m. until 12:30. The city of Cape Coral is in the middle of a hiring blitz. From mechanics to athletic assistants and everything in between, full and part-time jobs are available based on the department, and all backgrounds are going to be considered. So see what all is available and apply online at fox4now.com/job search. And if you're a small business looking to hire, let us know. Email the job requirements to fox4now.com so we can put that on air. Let's check your weather with Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley.
All right, yeah, that's right. It looks like a beautiful day here across the area. That's going to continue here for the rest of the week, Jane, as we take a live look outside our Riverside Law live cam here for tonight in the Cape. Another cool night, but at least the weather is nice and dry, and it looks like that's going to be the case here for the rest of the week. We're still going to have the cool mornings, but it's not going to be as cool as it's been, particularly as we get towards the end of the week. We start to get a little bit more moisture across our area, so our mornings will be a little bit warmer. But as I mentioned, we could see highs getting close to or exceeding 80 degrees on the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's get right to it right now and show you what we're expecting here for the rest of this week. And really the MO here over the next day or so will be the cool night. So again, cool overnight tonight. Not quite as chilly as last night, but still cool. Many areas still dropping to low 50s overnight, and beautiful for your Wednesday. Looks like highs will reach the mid-70s tomorrow afternoon, and then above average temperatures expected here for this coming weekend. Of course, Storm Shield 4 Doppler sweeping dry here across the area for tonight, so rain is not going to be something we're going to see a lot of here over the next week and a half or so, as we're in this very dry pattern with the storm track well off towards our north. Right now we're in the 50s and 60s temperature-wise, and that's where we're going to be here for tomorrow morning. mainly in the 50s. Clear skies, our average high 75. So we're going to be pretty close to that here for tomorrow afternoon under a partly cloudy sky and light winds. It looks like an absolutely stellar day shaping up here for tomorrow. As we take a look at clouds and radar across our area, high pressure to our north is really the big controller of our weather. That's continuing to slide across North Florida. That's going to be the case here as we go throughout the next day or so. And eventually it's going to be sliding away from the region. We're going to start to get more of an east to southeast wind. And as a result of that, it should cause us to see a little bit more humid conditions here across our region. Now, that upper level high pressure, the big H that you see in the lower right part of your screen, that high pressure in the upper atmosphere is what's going to give us some above average temperatures. We're going to be looking at high temperatures cranking up well into the 70s, even some lower 80s. That's going to be above average, and that pattern actually is going to continue through most of next week. We're getting our first indications. We'll see a cold front try to drop in here by the time we head towards the end of next week. So 40s and 50s overnight with a calm wind, and then for your high temperatures on Tuesday across southwest Florida, 73, pretty popular number from Arcadia to Punta Gorda, the Cape, as well as Fort Myers. So again, around 73 to 75 here for most locations. Clear skies tonight. 51 degrees, 75 with sunshine here for your Wednesday. So looking good here for Wednesday afternoon. Winds will be light out of the northeast. Ingman Marine forecast sees running about 2 feet with a north wind in the afternoon at 10 knots. Here's your 7-day forecast, and there's that warm-up I was talking about. We're going to stay in the mid-70s through the end of the week, dry through next Tuesday, but notice those 80s showing up here by later in the weekend, Sunday into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So again, beautiful forecast here. The kind of weather that we expect here in Southwest Florida during January.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks.